is the fly Aunt Ebony Ivory, and you all came to hear my Love and Marriage Huntsville episode 13 recap. Let me ask a couple of questions to start off with. Ken and Trisha, will they survive? Will they make it to another season? Do we think Mel is staying, or did God say go when it comes to Love and Marriage Huntsville? Do we think it's time for Maurice and Kimmy to exit? Do we think Destiny and Lance have a real shot at being in a relationship? Now let's get into my recap. So the episode starts out with Sunni arriving to Nell's bachelorette party. Sunni comes in and she speaks to everybody, and she sits next to Mel, and she was like, "Ooh, I can feel the tension in the room." Melody looks up from her phone. She says she didn't know Sunni was coming, gives her a hug, and her and Sunni, they walk over to the bar. Sunni definitely does speak to everybody. Then after they arrive, Nell and her niece and her daughter arrive. Nell is super excited because she hadn't had a bachelorette party when she got married originally. So she was very happy about that. What did you guys think about the bachelorette party? To me, I mean, the sexy guy, that was cool, but I didn't really see any decor. I didn't see any games being played. What do you guys think? I think it was giving. Destiny don't really like Nell like that because, it wasn't giving much of anything. I thought it was kind of boring, to be honest. But give me your thoughts in the comment section. So then we are, Melody comes. She gives Nell a hug and says she had to leave, but she will definitely be at the Vowel renewal. Nell was kind of sad that Mel had to go, but she gets, she understands. So the ladies, start body painting, and Sunni and Destiny happen to be painting the same guy. And Nell says, "Look at y'all sharing that snake again." And Sunni says, "Me and her haven't shared anything." And I'm like, oh, this is about to start some ish. So Tisha is just trying to make small talk with Sunni. And Destiny gives her the evil eye, a long stare, because she's talking to Sunni. And it's like, girl, grow the hell up. So Stormy was like, I'm sorry, not Stormy. Sunni was like, well, you can't talk to me because she doesn't want her friends to talk to me. But she says, we're not in high school. And she was like, if you're going to hold your friend, be her friend and hold her accountable. She said, I'm just really tired of Destiny lying on me, doing interviews about me and my husband every other day. And she's like, she's just plain sick of it. And I'm like, oh my God. Of course, Destiny can hear this, happen. I'm like, I know some issues about to go down. So, Destiny comes over, and she was like, you spoke on my child, that whole post that you made with Maury Povich and the three fathers, saying, do you want to know why LeBaric left? And she was like, you don't have any kids. She was like, hopefully one day you'll get to experience that and you'll know why I'm upset. And Tisha was like, how can y'all just move on from all of this? And Sunni was like, she just needs to stop talking about me and my husband and move on. And, I get it. It's time for you to move on from the whole Moses thing. You got married after Moses. I'm sorry, you were married before Moses or during Moses. I don't know, but it is time to move on with your life. He did not choose you. He did not marry you. You are not the one he made vows to. So it is time for you to move on, Destiny. You really need to move on. And I thought that you're supposed to be moving on with Lance. So this kind of makes it look, if I'm Nell's and I'm watching all of this happen, I'm definitely talking to my son and telling him, don't even waste your time with her, period. So then all of a sudden, she's after, Destiny makes her point about the thing that she's alluded to with Maury Povich and guess who's the father and why your husband left and all of that stuff. She's like doing a ghetto princess thing. clapping her hands, saying, I will talk about whatever I want to talk about, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, this is so unbecoming and it's so unladylike and it's so declassé. And again, then Sunni told her, just stop talking about me or whatever. And then Destiny just jumps to, I'm going to dog walk you. I'll dog walk you and this, that, and the other, threatening violence against her. And I'm like, girl, why are you threatening this girl? Why you want to dog walk her? For what? Like, I don't get it. For what? You addressed the issue in St. Thomas. She apologized, and that's it. What is it that you still so upset about? That's my thing. And then Destiny says that Sunni should be more focused on her husband. That's why he ended up in jail. She was like, y'all gonna be celebrating y'all anniversary in jail. And she was like, let me get out of here before I dog walk this girl. And again, it's just like, why are you continuing to be so upset? So next thing you know, it's just not a good look. So Trish follows Destiny outside, and they're having a conversation, and she's like, well, how can y'all move on? Like, this is bad or whatever. She was like, I will dog walk her, this, that, and the other. And it's just like, girl, for what? Like, what's the real root of the issue? You must still love Moses. You must still want Moses to part your Red Sea. That's what it's giving. So, again, I would say if I'm Nell, I see her threaten to dog walk this girl. This is my bachelorette party. You told Mel and Trisha they shouldn't be getting into it because it's all about Nell. Nell wasn't even there when that was occurring. Now Nell has arrived and you threaten to dog walk somebody at this lady's bachelorette party and you're seeing this lady's son. Come on, guys. Like, let's hold the feet to the fire a little bit. I can't imagine myself throwing a baby shower. A bachelorette party, a lackluster one at that, for someone's mother that I'm dating and I'm trying to build with, and then getting into it with my ex-boyfriend's wife. Like, it got to stop somewhere. Let's stop the BS. So, next scene, we're at the location where the vow renewal is going to happen. Nell and her girls arrive. It's Nell, her daughter, and her niece. Poor Nell has twisted her ankle. Her ankle is really swollen, really, really bad. And she's like, oh, this is getting off to a bad start. She calls Chris and tells him she needs something to wrap up her ankle because it's getting swollen. Lance then walks in. He looks so handsome. He brings in like a fruit tray. Nell is getting her wig installed and stuff like that. And her niece brings up the conversation about the bachelorette party, if she enjoyed it. Nell says she definitely had a good time. She enjoyed painting the snake on the man. And she was like, the niece was like, I'm concerned about the way Destiny went off on that girl. I mean, she ate the girl up. But she's like, is it fuck Lance? Like, I don't understand. So exactly, even if someone that's not been around and seeing the interaction, it definitely looks like she's arguing over Moses. She's not upset about what Sunni said about her son. It looks like she's arguing over Moses. So in her defense, Nell says, I think she was more upset that I invited Sunni to an event that she was throwing for me and that Sunni has to be around this friend group. I think that's what she was upset. So Chris Fletcher come in looking fine and suave as usual. The way they looking at each other, baby, they love each other down. 30 years. Nell, like, she was ready to give Chris the business, okay? So he brings the stuff for her, and the girls are like, y'all not even supposed to see each other and looking at each other. He said, I've been looking at this one for 33 years. Like, he said he was a little bit nervous in his confessional, but it's 30 years, and he's ready to renew his vows. So while everybody's in the back getting ready, we are now in the seating area, the ceremony area where everybody's being seated for the ceremony. Also, Nell, before Lance had left, she told him that she wanted Lance to make sure that Martel and Mel were close to seeing the ceremony, but separated. She didn't want any drama or anything to occur, and Lance definitely made sure that was taken care of. So we are out in the ceremony area. You see Maurice and Bone Carrier Kimmy, and then Martel, they're like sitting next to each other. They talk a little bit about Fletcher's bachelor parties. But Fletcher did have to scrub us with the big booties and the clappers. Okay, he had a nice little time at his bachelor party. Kimmy says we had good moments too. And she basically talked about how, of course, Sunni and Destiny got into it. And Maurice was like, well, that's to be expected. Him and Sunni and Destiny gonna get into it. But then they was like, Trish and Mel got into it. And Martel was like, what? They got into it? Tell me about that. He was like, because people just coming for Melody. And I'm like, wow. Was he saying that out of concern or was he saying that out of glee? Let me know in the comments what you guys think. So he was like, people just coming against Melody and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, that's a different take on stuff. So Tisha and Marceau, they come to the wedding and they come to the ceremony area. They greet the other Scots and then fist bump. Not Tisha, but Marceau did. Fish bumps Martel. And I'm like, is this for real? The way he dogged your wife out, all the stuff he said about your wife, you're going to fist bump him? Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Tisha, if I was you, girl, this is fake as hell. Either it's fake as hell or your husband really don't like you. That's kind of what it's given. Because I don't feel like anybody that dogged me out the way my marriage would be set up. You dog me out like that at an event and fist bump me later on like it's all good? No. And it was initiated by Marceau, just so you know. So Melody in her confessional, she notes how she sees everybody sitting on one side and she notices how, Marceau and Martel and them, they're acting like basically nothing never happened based on a big blowout they had. And she said, it's just very odd to me. But she said people tend to be faking it in this group. And I have to agree because he dragged the fuck out of Tisha. And for them to be sitting over there like that, for him to fist bump him like it's all good, nah. Martel finally has taken note of Melody. And he wants to go down memory lane a little bit and also talks about he still wants to get married, but he compares he's met women, but he compares them to Melody. Talking about if it wasn't for the Ford kids, it wouldn't be so tough on him that they cheated them out of a lot. No, sir, not y'all two, just you. Because she gave you a chance to get your act together and stop cheating. But you said in your own words, you was liking them oranges. You liking them oranges. You liking that dirty love, that dirty sex. That you was all into that freaky ish. She got a hold of you, baby. And it cost you everything. So he said he doesn't think he'll be ready to get married in another 5 years. Child, Coleslaw gonna be over there for 15 years to be moved up into the marriage position. She ain't going nowhere. She's definitely invested 10 years. Child. So Martel also brings up the fact that, it's sad that him and Melody can't communicate. They don't have any interaction and they don't talk. It's sad and stuff like that. And I'm like, sir, you tried to put out revenge P on your ex-wife and you think y'all supposed to key, like everything is all good. You got a no contact order in place. Like, delusion. So nevertheless, the ceremony begins. Chris Fletcher's dad is there, still with them, and he opens up the ceremony with a nice prayer. Nell is escorted down the aisle with Lance and another gentleman. Nell looked absolutely stunning. She gets to the altar and they begin the vow renewal and they ask for the rings. And Nell is like, I got my ring. And Chris surprised her. Chris got her a 7.5 carat, absolutely beautiful. I love it for Nell. She was so giddy and so happy. And this vow renewal showed me just how much in love she is still in love with Chris. And also while the vow renewal is going on, Martel is saying to himself, I never thought me and Melody would be in a place like this. We should be having a vow renewal. Like, sir, you are so wayward. You are so off your rocker and double-minded. What do if you left them oranges alone? So The vow renewal happens. It's renewed. They're married. Everybody is going into like the cocktail area, reception area. And Melody and Tisha, they're surrounding Mel and surrounding Miss Fletcher, and they're looking at the ring. And Tisha says, "You know what, Nell, you are my mentor." And Nell was very happy about that. She said it was very gratifying to hear Tisha say that. Nell says she's been married the longest, and she feels good to be acknowledged as a mentor. And Tisha looks at Chris and said, "There's no hard feelings. You can be Marcel's mentor." And I'm like, why would there be hard feelings between Tisha and Marcel regarding Marcel? Why would there be hard feelings? Is that from Backgate when Marcel was supposed to be with Chris Fletcher and he was caught up with a picture of his back somebody took in Atlanta? Is that what that is? I don't know. So Kimmy, Destiny, Trisha, and Tisha, they're all over to one side. Trisha, that shade of blonde is not for you. I'm a blonde hair girly. That shade is not for you. That's all I'm gonna say. So Kimmy was saying how beautiful the renewal was. She was like, she noticed that Melody was here, but she was sat on the other side. And Destiny was like, "What's new?" I feel like she ostracizes herself from the group. And I'm like, stop acting like you don't understand there's a no contact order. And that's also that in the background, Miss Fletcher had it set up that way that she wanted Martell and them far apart. So please stop it. So you got the mumbling menace. She begins to say, Destiny asks the mumbling menace, "Well, how did you think the Bachelorette party went?" And Trisha says, "Yeah, after the garbage went out." And I'm like, you be having so much energy and so much, your mouth be open when it's time to give a dig or take a jab, but to have regular communication, you be mumbling and carrying on. You the mumbling menace. So Tisha and Destiny, their mouth dropped wide open, because one thing you can say about Mel, she definitely ain't trash. Let's be for real. She definitely not trash. You can say a lot of things about her, but trash ain't one of them. So Destiny said, "But you keep saying you don't have an issue." So she goes on to say, "Well, now I have an issue. I had to give myself a pep talk before I came." And Tisha says, "Well, it seems like both of you have an issue with one another at this point." And it's like, Trisha thinks somebody's scared of her. Girl, nobody is scared of you, girl. Nobody. Cut it out. So notably, Ken is not there. And Kim says, "Oh, where's Ken?" And Trisha says, "Oh, he had a family emergency." And Kimmy, dumbass, she's so aloof. She really think it's something for real. And she's like, "Well, is there anything we can do? Is everything okay?" And Trisha's response is, "It's just life. It'll work itself out." And I'm like, damn. And it's just like, I'm like, girl, they ain't doing what they supposed to do, and they're pretending. They got a lot of issues going over in that household, and we will come to see that later on in the recap. I will get into it. So Lance comes over and says hi to the ladies, and the hi towards Destiny was kind of cold. And Kimmy pointed it out. She said, "Girl, you in trouble. Like that, you didn't notice that how he spoke to you, he was kind of cold towards you." And it comes up that it got back to Lance some way, somehow, that at the reopening of Madani, that Destiny was at the party giving googly eyes to some guy in front of Nell, Lance's mother. And of course, it goes back to Lance. So there's trouble before they even take off good with their little funky relationship. So next, we have a little medical emergency. The bishop has passed out. They call 911, and he's taken by the ambulance. We see Maurice and Marceau and Martel. They're over there talking about how, Mel is over there, by herself. And Martel over there telling a bold-faced lie, talking about when they're not in these spaces or at group events like this, she be around him and they get along just fine. I'm like, that's not true, Martel. That can't be true. Because you just said in the ceremony space you didn't expect for y'all to be like this, not able to speak to one another, no contact, no communication. So now you're saying the lady be around y'all? Come on, Martel, stop the damn lying. So it's like, And nobody calls him out on it. It's just so unbelievable to watch, for real. Like y'all don't call him out and say y'all don't challenge him on anything. So now they're being seated there at the dining area, and Mel is sitting with the group. You know, at weddings, at the receptions, you have a seating chart and you have a seating table. So Mel is now sitting with the group, and having small talk, and it's all good. And then here comes Martell bringing a chair over to the table that's not his assigned table, over to the table to come sit over there. And it's like he's almost across from Mel. And Mel is kind of like looking like, what is going on here? And then Mel decides to get up and leave, as she should, because why are you sitting over here? There's no reason. So now Martell ends up sitting next to Trish. We see Destiny and Lance going off to the side to have a conversation. And Destiny says to Lance, she said Lance was being very sassy with how he acted and not acting like an adult. I'm like, damn, do you like him? You calling him sassy to the world? And it's like you want to try to check him on what he did. But that's not going to work, because what I see about Lance is a manly man. So he's outside and he was like, oh, well, I didn't really appreciate, you should have took me off to the side to have a conversation. He said, I still stand by what I said and what I did. And I was like, let's go. So Destiny then goes to say that he was like, but did it happen though? And he was like, no, it didn't happen. Kimmy was trying to have a moment and she made it bigger than it was. And I said, that's why, Destiny is not a friend to nobody, because she didn't miss a beat to not take accountability and throw Kimmy under the bus and run her over 2 times. Period. Destiny goes on to say what Lance did to her was a red flag. She wants somebody emotionally intelligent. And because, the way he's acting right now, that wouldn't sustain in a relationship. Okay, so she's called him sassy. She called him childlike. And she said he's not emotionally intelligent. Okay, girl. And you are a walking red flag because you threatened to dog walk somebody doing a ghetto princess hand clap. And you want to fight in front of the person that you're seeing mother at her bachelorette party, but you're not a walking red flag. Okay. All right, so let's get to the meat and potatoes. We are now at Trish and Ken's house. Ken is trying to initiate a conversation with Trisha. He's like, can we talk for a minute? And she said, it depends on what it is. I said, so he basically says, we haven't been together that long, and there's still a lot that we have to learn about one another. So just to give y'all some background, apparently he saw a text from Trisha to Marquez saying that she would take him back in a heartbeat. I knew it. Remember I said on last week's recap, the reason why she can't stand Melody is because Marquez is showing interest and flirting with Melody and brought her those flowers, and she wished Marquez would have done that for her. I'm telling y'all, that's why she don't like Melody. And listen, Ken is clocked in to the games that Trisha is playing, and he's starting to see her for her nasty works. So he says, it's your deception. He says, you telling me one thing, but then I see this text message and you tell me you didn't mean it. He's like, and then the next thing is with the Martel situation. He says, this happened before me. And I want to make it abundantly clear. I have no issue with Martel whatsoever, because again, this happened before me, but my issue is with you. He was like, every time we talk about this, the story changes and it's more and more deception being revealed. And she gaslights him and says the M's live rent-free in his head, and that's Marquez and Martell. And he's like, whoa, 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 whoa. He was like, they don't live rent-free in my head. Stop making it like I talk about these people all the time and I'm so insecure and I'm worried about them. And to me, it's obviously she was like, why do we have to keep having this same conversation over and over again? And it's obviously that you're not giving him any resolution or comfort in the situation. Trisha has a major problem in communicating. She doesn't bring about any kind of conflict resolution or anything. Anytime he said something, it was, what about you? She was constantly deflecting during that argument. What do you guys think about that whole argument that Ken and Trish had? Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop down in the comments. So regarding the Martell situation, she's gaslighting the fuck out of Ken. She's telling him why if it's before you, then why you so worried about it, and then why do you keep bringing it back up? It was before you. Why are you so invested in it, baby? My thing is this: if you'll lie about something that happened before me, you definitely lie. You could be lying about a lot of other stuff, and that's how I took it. So she said, so Ken also raises the issue that she gives more respect to Marquez and Martell than she does him as the person that's come into her life and that's trying to be a good partner to her. And I was like, oh, that's really bad if he feels that way. That is super, super bad if he feels that way. So she continues to go back and forth with him and not listening to him and kind of gaslighting him. And he was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done with it. Ken makes his case saying that Martell's situation is before him. She continues to lie about it. He can't ignore it. And he's like, I'm done. He's like, I'm done talking. So basically, he walks out. I guess he's talking to someone in production. He's by the garage by his car because he's going to get ready to leave. He started saying, baby, I pay for all of this shit. Trisha then gets up and run behind him like she going to run up on him. She's like, that's a wrap. Wrap it up. Wrap it up. She's telling production to wrap it up. And Ken lets it be known. He pays for all of this stuff. He broke down. She said, your truck broke down somewhere right now at somebody's apartment and I got to go get it. She was like, my brother go get it. And girl, Ken began reading her for filth. He was like, when you struggling again, let your kids know why. He hopped in his little white Corvette and skirted off. The episode comes to an end and it is reunion time. Guys, let me know what you think about the recap. Let me know what you're ready to see in regards to the reunion. I hope the reunion is only 2 parts. Let me know your thoughts on this episode as well. Engage with me. You can follow me on my social media platforms, The Fly on TikTok, Instagram, of course, YouTube. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And Auntie loves you. I'll see you on the next episode. Bye-bye.